A viewer in a video about job hunting in Hungary asked me how a CV should look like here in Hungary. And in this video, I'm going to answer to that question. Hi, this is Renato. Welcome to my channel. I'm an expat consultant based in Budapest. Book a call with me for personalized guidance. Let's crack on. So there are not many differences between the European standards and the specifics here in Hungary. However, there are a few, so I will explain very simple but practical tips for you to have the ideal CV in Hungary. Length and structure. So in most countries in Europe, the expectation is 1 page. But there are some occasions here in Hungary where you can actually do a CV with 2 pages. And I've even checked my last curriculum when the last time I was looking for a job here in Hungary, and it was 2 pages. But my professional experience at that time was of about more than 15 years. So it was relevant to my experience to have a 2-page CV. Now, if you have less than 5 years of experience, then I would recommend the 1-page CV, only 1 page. Even more important than length, 1 or 2 pages, is the structure. So the structure should be clear. Profile, experience, educations, and skills, no more than that. This is very important. And even the most important part of the structure and the length is not to squeeze things in 1 page or those 2 pages. Squeeze is something and a CV is something else. In your culture, it might be accepted that you squeeze things into 1 page. It is not recommended here in Hungary. It should be clear. The sections should be clear. In terms of personal details, only your name, the email, your phone number, and also the city where you live. A picture is recommended, but if it is not a professional one, then do not use a picture. By the way, I mentioned the word professional. Your email should be a professional one as well. Simple, very simple, with only your name. No wild horse or big bear or cute cat, nothing of that. Many recruiters, when they like your CV, they will call you. They will call you to ask for a couple of questions and also your salary expectations. So you should have a phone number in the personal details. If it is Hungarian phone number, is going to be much better. Address is not necessary. Marital status is not necessary. Any other personal details is not necessary. Your date of birth is not necessary. The profile section is going to matter a lot. It should be around 3 to 4 lines, very concise. You should communicate what is really important and what is really relevant to the position that you are applying for. This is the first thing that the recruiter, that the HR person will take a look at about you. So it should be fantastic. Now, in the skills section where you write the languages that you speak, be very honest. If you write something that is not true, then the trust will go very low. So if you speak English and at advanced level, you can write advanced level, of course. But what your CV says, it should resemble when you go to an interview. If you put advanced level in your CV, but when you go to the interview, you don't speak advanced level, the trust will go down. So you should write what it is. Be honest. In terms of the Hungarian language, if you cannot establish a very simple conversation in the language, then don't even mention Hungarian. Don't put basic level of Hungarian if you cannot establish a simple conversation. You just don't write it. And that applies to any other language that you speak or that you studied in the past. By the way, if you, for writing your CV, use ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT to write a very fancy CV, that can backlash. But because if you go to the interview and you cannot speak in that fancy way that ChatGPT wrote your CV in, then that's a problem. It is the same as if you said that you speak intermediate level of Hungarian, and then when you go to the interview, you only speak basic or only know 10 words. That's not good. In other words, be yourself, be honest. If you already had experience in Hungary and you can put that in your CV, that's gonna be great. However, if you just arrived to the country and you're looking for a job, that's no problem. However, write your experiences also explaining a little bit of the context of the company you work for. Like, for example, how big the company was, what is the role that you had, with how many people you worked in the role that you worked at. Did you have communication with clients or only with internal clients? Everything that can provide clarity and context of the position that you were in at that company in your country will help the HR people understand if you're going to be a good fit for their company. Let's speak about style. Key words for this. So simple, clear, professional. No colors, no icons, no charts, no emoticons. Don't use emoticons, yeah? Only one or maximum two colors and no bright colors, yeah? Simple, professional, black and gray or something like that. So yeah, you understand me. The format, always let it be PDF. One last thing. So many companies in Hungary, when you are filling the online form, the online application to be able to upload your CV, they ask you whether you have a residence permit that is valid to work in Hungary. In this question, in the same way I told you throughout the whole video, be honest. If you don't have a residence permit, then put that you don't have a residence permit. If you have a residence permit, then put that you have a residence permit. All in all, apply all these small adjustments and you will have a little bit more chance to land the job in Hungary. It will help. Remember that video I mentioned in the beginning about job hunting in Hungary? I have it here. Check that out to see if it can help you as well. Thank you for watching. Good luck in your job search and see you in the next one.